Hey everybody, this is Imperium's Knight here. Welcome to Dylan Talks Fandom, episode number 50. Fuck, which one is this? 55. Forgot what episode this was. Oops. This is going to be an interview one, and this is going to be the wild card interview. Wild card, basically, officially, what that means is that anybody of any profession can come on at any time, and what it actually means is I can do whatever the fuck I want, and this time around, I took full advantage of that to ask on somebody who I'm personally really excited to interview, because this is somebody who was literally the very first person I followed ever for their fan-created content that they made for Rooster Teeth in general. Everybody, please welcome to the show, Tora Ols.
Hi.
So, you're now the second wildcard interview to come on to the show.
Cool.
So
sloppy seconds.
Sloppy. Yeah. All right. Yes. Let's go with that. I had this whole interview, how excited I was to do that, and now it's just immediately sloppy seconds. This is great. Off to a great start.
I'm good at this.
So today we have 27 total questions for you.
Wow.
Are you ready?
I guess so, yeah.
All right. How did you first discover RWBY?
I was watching... Well, I had been a fan of Rooster Teeth for like a year, probably, by then. And then they announced it, I guess, while I was still watching all the content. And then I watched the first episode live at RTX 2013. And that was a special moment. And I was like, Jesus Christ, this is actually really good. And it got me excited about it.
And here we are. I think
And that's also where I met Josh. So RWBY's got a special place in my heart.
It's got a special place in your heart in a couple of ways, I'd say. I think you're actually the first person I've had on the show that saw episode 1 live at RTX.
Oh yeah? Yeah, maybe.
I think you might be.
Well, it was about 2,000-3,000 people in that theater,
yeah.
So you might be able to find some more. Yeah, no, I actually got into Rooster Teeth through RTAAs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I even got a chance to actually thank Jordan about it this summer.
Wow.
So Jordan is a friend of mine, but I hadn't really talked to him about that, and we were at Patrick's birthday, and we were just hanging out talking, and then I was like, oh, by the way, did you know that the first ever Rooster Teeth video I watched was an RTAA? And he was really excited by that, and then I said, yeah, without you I wouldn't have met Josh, just as Josh walked up to me, and he was like, yeah, Josh should be thanking me, to be honest. And I was like, aw.
That's great.
Yeah. Jordan's a great guy.
What RTA was it that you first saw?
Well, it's the headlight fluid one, obviously. A friend of mine just sent it to me. We used to like send each other links all the time, so he sent me this one, and I was like, Jesus, this is really funny, and they've got like a really good chemistry. So I started watching like all the other RTAs, and then I started watching the shorts, and then the ball started rolling, and then here I am today.
Here you are.
Yeah.
Also, probably should actually say, just for anybody that might be a little bit confused, Jordan Suarez, I think is that how you say his last name? We'll go with it.
Yeah, I think you nailed it.
Patrick Rodriguez, the artist, and Josh, I have no idea how the fuck to pronounce his last name. Ornelas, right? Ornelas? I was close. Yeah, right. That's the thing.
A lot of people add like the E, but it's just Ornelas.
The E sounds pretty. It just sounds nice.
I guess so. Yeah, Bernie keeps mispronouncing it too. It's funny.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no,
also,
it's pretty straightforward.
Welcome to episode 55, name drop edition.
Yeah, right?
Hey,
I know all these people. Oh, I'm so cool. Oh. Yes.
What was the first RWBY artwork you remember seeing?
Oh, gosh. Well, it's got to be the 4 silhouettes, right? Because that's the first thing they released.
I mean like more fan work based, because that was official art.
Okay. I really have no idea, because pretty much immediately fan work started coming out, like the second the Red trailer came out,
Yeah.
there were fan arts everywhere. So I really can't remember. Because it was so, like, people were, like, cosplaying the day after the trailer came out. It was nuts. Yeah, like, literally 1 or 2 days after each of the trailers, there would be cosplays. For RTX this year, actually, it was really funny. So they showed off, like, some unfinished stuff.
Auburn.
Yes, they showed off Auburn for the first time. And it wasn't done, the footage that they showed, because they were so early in production. But it was still, like, the fight between RWBY and Auburn. And the day after, people had sort of made really crude cosplays.
Yeah, it was literally the next day of RTX.
I just remembered Miles being like, "What the fuck?"
Every single person that I knew was like, "What the fuck?" Like, how?
Yeah, apparently they didn't sleep.
Sleep is overrated.
Yeah.
Like, who needs it?
Yeah, definitely. I didn't sleep much either at RTX, to be fair.
God, I need to get those 4 people onto my show, probably. Just be like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. No, that's amazing, though. It's really cool. That's how it was when they announced RWBY, too. Like, the feedback and the reception was immediate. People were excited immediately. I would just remember how quickly people adopted RWBY. It was really cool to watch. Yeah,
and it's been cool to see how quickly they adopt new things for RWBY as time goes on.
Yeah, as someone who doesn't really like anime, I used to like watch an incredible amount of anime, and I think I just sort of overdosed, I guess, on anime.
Yeah.
And it was too much, and now I almost puke watching anime. I'm like, I can't handle it. But so immediately when I saw like the art style, I was like, oh, she looks so cliche. She's got like the Lolita dress, I guess. I'm not sure. Then I watched like the fighting and the fucking music. I was like, okay, I'm in.
What made you decide to draw for RWBY?
I like RWBY. It's easy. RWBY's cool. It's inspiring. Makes me want to draw.
I like the first part of that, just because it's like I've gotten so many answers. It's like, I like the character designs, I like this, I like that about it. Why you wanted to make stuff for it, and you're just like, I like RWBY, and it was just that. It's appropriate. It works, but it's just really funny.
This new season, because of all the great character design and cool animation and everything, it's just been really inspiring.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's more than this previous seasons really made me want to draw RWBY stuff.
Who's your favorite character? Oh, well, this is something that they didn't see, but they're going to get to know now. Who's your favorite character?
Yang.
Hey, it's not Sage.
Well, he's my second favorite.
Get fucked, Josh.
I'm sorry, Josh, but Yang is really cool, and you're not that cool. You're pretty cool, just not that cool.
That was great.
I mean, can you blame me? Like, she's so cool. She punches stuff, and then she, like, lights on fire. She's hot. She's got big boobs. Josh doesn't have big boobs. Not as big, at least.
Oh my god.
I love her. She's got an attitude. I've loved her ever, like I said that earlier, but yeah, I've loved her ever since the Yellow trailer came out. I was like, she's my favorite.
Oh my god, that was beautiful.
Thanks. I love my boyfriend, can you tell?
I can tell. I think most importantly, I can tell that if Yang was real. Oh god.
I mean, yeah.
That was really funny.
But so I'm not a shipping type. I don't do ships. Unless it's like canon, then I'll be like, oh yeah, that's cute. But like stuff that's not hinted at in the show, I don't really do. But if I had to choose a ship, it would be Sage Yang.
So you're down.
Because they're my faves.
Best experiences in the fandom.
Well, I'd probably have to place seeing the first RWBY episode at RTX on top. Because obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure if this counts. I guess it should count. I've met Monty twice, and the second time I met him was really nice. The first time I met him, he was in work mode and not very talkative. He shook my hand and said Monty and then left. But the second time I met him was at RTX, and he was walking the floor, and I walked up to him and I just said hi and wanted to take a picture, and he was like a completely different person. He was like super open and friendly and like not in robotic work mode. And that was also really special.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm gonna say those two things.
Alright. Those are both fantastic answers, I think.
Yeah.
Number 10. What would this be officially now? Number 8. It's not number 10 anymore. Aside from art, is there any other medium you express your creativity in?
I used to play a lot of music, but I don't anymore. I used to do some. I played the trumpet for 15 years.
Oh, holy shit.
Which is why I approved of the Flint Cole episode.
Fucking Flint Cole.
Yeah, I also approved of the accuracy. They managed to animate him holding the trumpet properly, which is a pet peeve of mine. Almost every time I see a fucking trumpet in a movie or something, they hold it wrong.
I believe that. I 100% believe that.
They nailed it in that episode. Like, he looked like the way he held the trumpet and how he like maneuvered and everything. It just like, they nailed it. He looked like a trumpet player, and he looked like he really knew his way around the trumpet.
Yeah.
It was really cool to see. So I love that.
Flint Cole was great in that one. So I fucking love Funky. Funky is my personal favorite throwaway team that has come out
great.
so far.
It's great.
Also,
but yeah, no, it's... Oh yeah, sorry. Keep going.
No, you first.
No, I was just continuing to answer the question. Well, it's mostly art right now. But then... Okay. I guess when I learn to do 3D properly, that's also gonna be a source of creativity for me.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm not very good yet.
Alright. That's fair. What's your favorite art piece excluding your own?
Well, my own won't be my favorite, obviously.
It's never anybody's favorite, but it's like a formality that I do that.
Gotcha. No, it's my own. Like the one I drew yesterday. It's my favorite.
I don't even... God, I was just going through your Twitter. Wait, did you not draw one yesterday? Was that the joke?
It's a joke. I didn't draw anything yesterday.
All right, cool. Because I just went through your Twitter like images for like fucking 20 minutes. It's like I don't remember anything.
Like in all of time, or like Rooster Teeth RWBY related?
RWBY fandom, preferably.
There's so much good stuff though. How am I to pick one?
Welcome to the joy that I get putting other people through hell to answer these questions.
Jesus Christ. I'm sure there's one that's stood out to me. But I honestly can't. I'm just gonna say one I saw recently. What's that Japanese person that drew all the nice stuff?
Mojo.
I don't even know. Yeah, Mojo something.
Yeah, Mojo. I think it actually. I want to call Mojo Jojo, but that's the monkey from Powerpuff Girls, and I don't think that's right.
I don't think that's right. I think is there a girl? I think it's a girl. I have no idea.
We're talking about RWBY fandom here, so the bet is pretty safe that it's a girl.
Yeah, she's got someone I really like. She like pumps out amazing art, and I guess one that really stood out to me was the one she drew of Team Funky recently. Did you see that one?
I believe I did. I'm just trying to pull up her thing.
They're like sitting at a bar or something, and Flint Cole is like playing music.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, he's like playing the trumpet for Neon Cat.
God, it's just pro Smite players. Come on, when did I follow you? I couldn't remember enough of the Twitter thing to pull it up, and now it's just
every time I go to a profile, there's new art.
Are you surprised by the success of your art?
Yes. I think it's mostly luck, because I see way more talented people with way less notoriety than I have. I think it's just luck. I think the time I got into the community was before like any major artists were around.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's sort of why I sort of rose to the top. And I got noticed by Ray, who then became one of my best friends. But I guess when you're good friends with someone like Ray, I guess, you can't help but gain some followers from that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, people will see your stuff. I think that's how I found you, actually.
Hang out. Maybe, yeah.
Well,
we would
I think I found you through
stream,
Ray retweeting
we'd play.
your stuff, but...
Probably. He would do that a lot, and we would play games a lot. Like, we would used to play games like once a week or several times a week, and still pretty good friends with him. And I guess through that, I just sort of gained some notoriety, I guess, and just my drawings were sort of... People seemed to like him, and I guess they stuck around for them, which is nice.
Yeah.
So,
I like your art. So.
I'd say it's mostly luck, though.
How often do you encounter creativity block or general lack of motivation, and how do you manage to overcome it and continue to create such great pieces?
Just wait. That's literally... I haven't found a good solution, so I basically just wait it out. Keep doing stuff that inspires me, like watching things, looking at art, reading, listening to music, playing games, all that kind of stuff that gives me inspiration. And I don't try to force it, because if I don't feel like drawing or I don't have any inspiration, if I start drawing, it's just going to turn out shit. And then I'm going to feel bad about myself, and then I'm definitely not going to want to draw. So usually what I do is I just don't draw that much. Maybe I doodle some, but I just keep listening to stuff or looking at stuff and all that kind of stuff. And then once I get like a whiff of inspiration, I immediately start drawing again. So this summer I went almost 2 months without drawing a single thing, because I didn't have any inspiration. So yeah, that's basically how I handle it. I don't know if it's good, but yeah.
You're the first person to say that, actually. I don't think I've ever gotten somebody that just says they did just write it out, but yeah. All right. Next question. What do you do to get ready to draw?
Well, I usually kind of plan out pretty in detail what I want to draw, because it's easier that way. And then I look around for references or stuff that I need. I usually like prepare the kind of references. If I'm drawing a character, I find pictures of them and like look at stuff that's similar or something to what I want to draw. Get all that stuff ready, and then I just sit down and start my Undertale soundtrack playlist. And start drawing.
All right.
Simple as that.
All right. And up next is the first by the way, it was from the same person. It was an anonymous on Tumblr. First of the questions, though, how long does it take to draw?
That really depends on what it is.
How about an Arcanine?
Some stuff takes... An Arcanine? Like, again, it depends. Like, one Arcanine sketch would take me 5-10 minutes. One Arcanine with background and color could take me 3-4 hours. It depends, like, especially if I do line art. Line art takes the longest, I'd say, almost. Well, the sketching and the line art combined is like the majority of the thing, so it takes a long time to do all that. I don't know, it can take everything from like an hour to 3 or 4 days. I don't know.
Alright.
The animation I did recently from the Funhouse animation took probably 3 hours to do, but that's just a sketch and then 3 different frames. But obviously I didn't change James or Adam any, I just changed Breeze a tiny bit.
Alright.
But yeah, that didn't take too long to do.
Alright. And the next question is just what software do you use?
Paint Tool Sai.
Alright.
That's it.
Solid.
Yeah.
What are your general thoughts on your art?
Could be better.
Alright, that's fair. I've gotten that answer a couple times.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ridicule you for that one in particular.
It's alright, but it could be better.
Alright.
I'll work on it.
It's a good attitude to have. Thumbs up. I snapped and gave you a thumbs up like any of this is fucking picking up at all. I make way too many gestures for as little as people can see. Alright. Do you think that art gets easier with time, or now that you're more experienced, do you find it harder to draw than when you were younger and didn't know as much?
Oh god. I don't know. I started drawing very young, and art's always been hard. It's fucking hard to draw, man. I can't remember a point it was any harder or easier than it is right now. It's still hard as balls. But I obviously draw way more advanced shit, like way more detailed stuff than I did back then. I don't know, it's hard. Art's hard, man.
It's true. I don't do it for a reason.
Yeah.
Next question. What have you learned from your art?
What have I learned from my art?
Yeah.
That I really fucking suck at drawing legs and feet. I'm so bad at it. I can't do it, man.
It's a really different direction.
How do you draw legs?
I
I really suck at legs. That's what I've learned. I suck at legs. The end.
Alright, well, I mean, there've been people who've taken the literal route of the mechanics and stuff that they've learned. There's been people who've taken the metaphorical route. I've never gotten an answer like that.
Well, I like to be different, I guess.
We made the sloppy seconds joke at the start of this, but ever since then, you found like weird ways to be different than everybody else has that I never would have expected.
Cool. I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely a compliment in this case. How do you manage your time?
I try to get as much free time as possible because that's what I want. I don't have that many friends over here. I obviously have my classmates and I like them very much, but I don't really do all that much stuff with them on my free time. So it's usually just hanging out. If I'm not working or if I'm not at school studying, then I whatever I feel like. If I feel like drawing, I sit down and draw. If I feel like just watching some YouTube videos and not doing shit, then I do that. If I feel like playing games, I do that. It's I usually just do whatever I feel like.
All right. That's a good answer. I really like this question a lot. Not for the bad reasons, but I just think this is a fun question. If you could work on an art piece with any other artist, who would it be with and why? 2 stipulations for this one. The first is that you cannot have worked with them previously, and the second is that 1 in fandom and 1 out of fandom.
So in fandom it has to be RWBY fandom, right?
RWBY fandom, yeah.
again, I'm kind of new to this RWBY fandom thing. Like I've always loved RWBY, but I've never been a big part of the fandom.
Mm-hmm.
So if I had to work with one artist in the RWBY fandom, Erin she's not a fandom.
No, it doesn't
she's
count
not
as a fandom member anymore.
She's crew. Ah, damn it. Maybe. Well, I'll just say. Fuck. Maybe Mojo Jo that we talked about earlier. She's great. She's really good, talented fella.
Super
Because
talented.
I would have said Abe or Pedelec and good because I really admire her art. But she's in the Rooster Teeth fandom, but she's not in
The RWBY fandom.
the RWBY fandom. I don't think she's ever done any RWBY fan art. I haven't
Hasn't?
seen it.
Not to my knowledge,
Gotcha.
at least.
Yeah.
And then
Fair
for the
enough. Out of fandom?
Yep.
Like any artist?
Yeah.
Shit. I can never think of any artist when I am. Patrick.
All right.
I love him. I love Patrick.
It's both are good. Now into the very serious portion of the Dylan Talks fandom questions: pancakes or waffles?
Oh God. I'm gonna say pancakes, dude.
All right.
But the thing is that in Norway we've got our pancakes are crepes and not your pancakes.
Yeah. That probably helps them out.
And your pancakes are called American pancakes. But I love both, so pancakes will win.
All right.
Yeah.
Cake or ice cream?
Well, I'm lactose intolerant, so cake.
Oh. Well, that one was
You
easy.
can get. It's easier to get. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cake that's lactose free than. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Then a dairy product. Weird how that works.
Mhm.
Next question. And going into this, I'm going to take away art, and I'm going to take away your name dropping as well, like all the names that you
Oh, God.
mentioned as well. What do you think your reputation is within the fandom?
Oh God. Listen, okay, so this is one of my insecurities. I like everyone else, I have my anxieties and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And one of my major insecurities is I want everyone to like me at all times. And I can't handle a thought, even if it's someone I don't know or don't care about, I can't handle a thought of anyone not liking me. Or thinking, wow, she's a bitch. And that makes my day-to-day social struggle pretty difficult because I'm so scared of people disliking me all the time. So I have a tendency to jump to, oh, they just hate me. Oh, this person hates me now. I said something dumb. They hate me. And that's, oh, this person hasn't talked to me in 2 days. They fucking despise me now. I did something wrong. And that's usually my default. So I'd rather not think about what the fandom thinks of me. I hope they like me because I don't want them to hate me. I can't handle that.
What is the question that you get asked the most?
It's probably just what's your tablet and what you use to draw.
All right.
I get that a lot.
All right. And the last question of the show: what is the biggest piece of advice that you can give to aspiring artists?
I can just keep going, man. Yeah,
All right.
that's it. Just keep doing what you do, and that's the only way to keep. That's just
All right.
keep on keeping on.
It's popular. Answering with a popular answer.
Yeah.
Well, that is the last
See, I'm
question.
not all that original.
That is the last question. That'll conclude the questions portion of this interview. So we talked about a lot of people. Quite a lot, actually. I think that we probably covered a huge breadth of people. I'm not going to link all of them because I'm a lazy fuck. So, is there anybody specifically that you would like to shout out that will for sure be linked in the description below?
A person I should shout out.
It can be people as well, like just any number of people.
Shit. In the Jesus Christ. In the RWBY fandom?
It can be anybody.
Okay. It can be anybody. Yep. Okay. I'm so bad at questions, man. I always like blank on it when.
I know that feeling as well.
I feel like shouting out Bunny, I guess. She's one of my favorite people.
Right.
She does some really good art. She's monotoki.tumblr.com.
I didn't know she had a Tumblr.
2 Ks. Yeah. She's really sweet, and she does some good art. She's worth checking out if you like art. I guess I should give a shout out to Lex too, because she's the reason I'm here, right?
Yeah. Big part of it.
So shout out to Lex. And my internal joy at like making her freak out at Josh stuff, because it's really funny to me.
Isn't that everybody's eternal joy though? It's just like
I feel like everyone loves to get her to freak out. It's just so easy.
It is really easy.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious.
So yeah. So any chance I get, that's always fun. I don't know. Shout out to people.
Alright, I'm just gonna write down people.
Oh yeah, I can give a shout out to the podcast of 2 very good friends of mine. That if you like stories, you'd like their podcast.
Alright, what is it?
So these are 2 pretty well-known people in the community, or at least were or are still. But I met them both from the community. It's Connor McDonald and Kevin Matthews. You know them?
Yeah, I know them.
Samurai Corn Dog.
Samurai Corn Dog.
Yeah, and
what is that called?
Space Typist.
Space Typist.
Yeah. On Twitter, and they have a podcast called Promptly Written.
Promptly Written. That was what.
So they're both excellent writers and storytellers, and funny as all hell. Hanging out with them is always like a blast, because they're just constantly funny. And they write really cool stories, and at their podcast Promptly Written, they give each other prompts, and then they read those, and then they write something based on those prompts, and then they read them on the podcast.
That's cool. I've
Yeah,
actually never seen it, but I know them.
You should check it out. It's always really enjoyable to listen to. The only problem is you should probably start from the beginning, because they have a lot of sequels throughout the podcasts. Okay. So if you want to listen to it, you should probably start on episode 1 so you don't miss any of the sequel stories that they do, because there's some good shit in there, man. Like, Connor has a whole like superhero universe, and it's so cool. I've actually done some art for that, because I just really enjoyed it. And they also do some sketches and stuff like that in between prompts, and yeah, no, they're just really funny dudes. Shout out to Promptly Written.
Alright, shout outs to Promptly Written, and with that, that'll conclude this episode of Dylan Talks Fandom. I want to thank Tora for coming on to the show.
Thank you for having me.
It was an absolute blast to have you on. You can find Tora in several places that will be linked in the description below.
Hey.
So, I don't know when this episode is coming out. So, whenever this is out, this is either out on Christmas or before Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, if it's out on Christmas, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and Happy Kwanzaa, because that's the 26th. And if it's not, then, well, you got a week to go. Next episode of the show, I don't know what it's going to be yet, because it's pending on an exception, on something, I should say. I don't know how much more vague I can be about this, but I'm going to try. Depending on what happens, this next episode will either be one thing or it will be something else. And that's all I can say right now, actually, because both things need pending through, but I need to wait on both of those things to see whether or not it's going to happen.
Yay.
So you might see. So you probably won't see an episode the week after this one comes out. I'd like to try to, but it probably won't happen. Otherwise, yeah, I will see all of you the next time. Bye.
Boy.